What is a cartel? A cartel is an association of manufacturers or suppliers of illicit drugs such as cocaine, meth, heroin, and marijuana, with the purpose of maintaining prices at a high level while restricting competition. Cartels often collaborate with political parties to promote mutual interests. The focus of this presentation is the Mexican cartels, with several South American cartels referenced for statistics. Our main focus is how they are affecting the Mexican government since the drug war started back in December of 2006. This drug war is seen to be the Mexican government's long overdue effort to impose order on their major drug problem after decades of Mexican government and citizen tolerance. Though the war has made some difference since it started, it has only made a small dent in the large string of organizations consolidating into the Mexican and American economy. These cartels have made many connections, finding new markets in places such as Australia and South American nations. All of these separate cartels, including ones of Colombian origin, earn roughly $18 to $39 billion a year in the United States alone. In the past decade, U.S. citizens have spent more than $100 billion annually on illicit drugs. The most popular drug, cocaine, is worth $16,000 for just a kilo in northern Mexico, and is worth $24,000 to $27,000 in the streets of the United States, depending solely on location. What is the Mexican government doing about this? Well, we can't say they didn't try. Economically, the Mexican government is spending billions of dollars each year and exceeding a sum over $200 billion currently, which is 10% of Mexico's total GDP. Money that could be spent on better living conditions for average Mexican citizens and healthcare. In fact, the total funding for security operations against the cartels, over $200 billion, is worth more than double Mexico's national debt, which is $73.5 billion. With a cartel funding price tag of $200 billion and 160,000 total deaths since the war started, Mexico's GPI, Global Peace Index, has deteriorated from 133 to 138 out of 162 countries. With an inefficient judicial system and an incompetent and easily bribed police force, this has become the result. Even with all the money spent and lives lost, there has still been minimal changes to active violence in all of Mexico's cities. Cartels such as the Sinaloa, the most powerful drug trafficking organization in the world, has benefited greatly from the incompetence of the Mexican government, mainly due to the negotiations that the Mexican government participates in. These negotiations include $1.3 billion and an empty promise from the cartels. The government only fuels the cartels when asking for some sort of regulation. As Pablo Escobar once said, plata o plomo, silver or lead. What is the United States government doing about this? Well, since Mexico is the main supplier of illicit drugs to the United States, they decided to take a hold on the crisis. The U.S. government has donated $1.5 billion to the Merida initiative to aid Mexico with the drug war. And though joint U.S. and Mexican intelligence and security services have resulted in numerous high-profile arrests of 25 out of 37 major drug traffickers and the destruction of 444,790 acres of marijuana farms and the decommissioning of over 100,000 tons of cocaine, these actions have only affected the market minimally. How has the war evolved? Under pressure from authorities, some crime and cartel factions have splintered into smaller, more ruthless groups. Under the current government, security and defense budgets have continued to rise, as well as the death toll. Along with that, huge amounts of drugs continue to make their way into the United States and other countries. Despite the war on drugs, the number of illicit consumers in the United States continues to steadily rise. Even the legalization of marijuana in certain states, which caused the demand for imported drugs to lower, still makes a minimal impact on the vast market of the cartels. In addition to drug trafficking, cartels have also begun to use human trafficking as a lucrative opportunity to add to their riches. People attempting to cross the border are often tricked into trafficking by cartels, promising to get them to the United States. While the government continues to help, the problem simply evolves. That's all I got.